Lesson 40, Abstract Fractional Equations. In these kind of exercises, we're going to have several types of letters. And what we need to do is read the exercise because they're going to tell us here which is the letter that we want by itself. Remember, when they say to solve, we need to leave that letter alone. So, in this case, we want to remember that we want x by itself. Now, the first thing we're going to do is common denominators. Now, that is something we always do. We always look for common denominators when we are solving fractional equations. So in this case, we have x and a, so our common denominator is xa. And remember, we want them in both sides so we can actually cancel those denominators. After that, we're going to see what we're missing. And so in this, for x to be xa, we're missing an a. So I'm going to multiply here times a and here times a. Remember, both top and bottom. For a, we're missing an x. So we multiply the top and the bottom. And for 1, we're missing ax. So we multiply the top and the bottom. And so on the top, we're going to have a squared plus mx equals cax. Like I said before, we're going to cancel denominators because we have the same denominator in both sides. And then what we want is to have the x, because it's the letter that we want to leave by itself, in one side of the equation. So as usual, we ask ourselves, what is the mx doing? Well, in this case, it's adding, so we're going to pass it to the other side to subtract. After we have x in the same side, then we're going to get the common factor. And the common factor in this case is x. So remember, we divide. Cax divided by a is ca, and mx divided by x is m. Now that we want to leave x by itself, we want to pass the parenthesis that is multiplying the x to divide. And that would be our answer. Let's do another example. In this case, the least common multiple is ma. So now we have to multiply times a so that we have ma on the bottom. And if we do that, we do also the top. The next one, we have a 1, so we have to multiply times ma, both the top and the bottom. And in the last one, we have a, so we are missing the m, so we put ym. So here we have xa plus cam equals ym. And remember, we cancel the denominators. And now we go back to the question and we see that the letter that we're asking is m, so we want m in the same side. So ym minus cam, because cam was adding here. And now that we have them in the same side, then we want to get the m, that is the common factor, out. And now that we have that multiplication, then we'll pass the parentheses that is multiplying the m, we'll pass it to divide. And that's the answer. So it's very simple. Common denominator, then pass all the terms that have the special letter, the letter of interest, pass them to one side. And once you have them in the same side, do common factor, and then pass the factor that is not common, the parentheses, to divide. And that's it. This last example is the same, but it has 4 terms, but we'll do exactly the same. First, common denominator, which in this case is py. We always start with common denominator. It doesn't matter what letter we have here, we always start with common denominator. So in this one, p is missing y, so we multiply there by y. Here we're missing by py, so we multiply by py. I recommend to use a different color, like I am using a different color, so that you see what you are missing and what you have to multiply by. Then here on the top, we'll have 6y minus axpy, and then on the other side, mp plus kpm. Again, we cancel the denominators, and we go back to the question to see what is our letter of interest. In this case, it's p, so I want to pass this one that is subtracting. We'll pass it here to add. Now we have to get p as our common factor because p is in all of the terms. And once we have that, then we're ready to divide by the parentheses. And that's our answer. So that's it. Very simple lesson. Just be very careful when you do it. Do some practice and let me know if you have any questions. I'll see you in the next video.